What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Now, recapping about the situation that happened the other day. And unfortunately, the 2-year-old Wynter Smith did not make it. She was found on Detroit's east side, and my condolences go out to her family because no kid deserves that. No family deserves to go through what y'all going through.
Well, first of all, I want to say that at least 7 police agencies, including the FBI here, assisted with the search for Wynter, including many community members. So we want to thank everyone for their efforts. Of course, as you mentioned, this is not the outcome any of us wanted, but now police say they're going to do a very thorough and deliberate investigation to make sure that Wynter's killer is brought to justice. Now, this all started in Lansing on Sunday night when we're told that Wynter's mother was stabbed multiple times by her ex-boyfriend, Rashad Trice. Now, she was able to get away and go to a neighbor's house and ask for help and call police. But when police arrived, Trice was gone, and so was Wynter. Trice was arrested 6 hours later in St. Clair Shores, but he would not disclose where Wynter was. The 3-day-long and over 100-mile extensive search ended around 6:50 Wednesday evening when, unfortunately, Wynter's body was discovered on the east side of Detroit in the area of Olympia and Irwin, and now authorities are not sharing very many details beyond that.
I know that you in the media and in the community are anxious for information, and we are sensitive to that. But we'd ask you to understand that we cannot provide further information about the investigation because we want to put our best foot forward and preserve the integrity of the prosecution.
This is not the outcome anyone had hoped for. And I promise law enforcement will see that the family gets the justice that they so deserve.
Now, before Wynter's body was discovered, Trice was already facing 14 charges in Ingham County Prosecutor's Office, including assault with intent to murder and domestic violence. So we will continue to follow this very unfortunate story.
2-year-old child, right? Totally innocent, had nothing to do with any situation that was going on in that house. Assault with intent to murder, and already had a domestic violence charge. This guy is the type of person that people need to have their eye on. These are the people who don't care about life. They are already going downhill, and with that being said, they're not worried about what tomorrow brings. We are losing a lot of people, and it's not because of other races, it's because of our own race, period. We are doing this to ourselves. These are senseless crimes that can be fixed by just easily walking away from certain situations. So not only do we have a 2-year-old that has passed, wasn't even able to live her life, wasn't even able to go to school. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine how the father feels. Imagine how the grandfather feels. Imagine how the whole family feels by losing someone. And not only just losing someone that's close to them like that, but losing them in this situation, right? I can understand if it was, health problems or something like that. I mean, yeah, they would be hurt. But for him to go and take this baby after what he did to the ex, get into the vehicle, drive over 100 miles, he had some contemplating to do right there. He could have been like, okay, I'm just going to turn around. I was flipping out, you know what I'm saying? I did what I did to her. I'm going to just go ahead and take this charge. It is what it is. He was probably like, you know what? It's no other way out. And in that instant, what is your next move? We as a people, we got to understand that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. He dug a ditch so deep that he's not going to be able to get out of it. So he's going to have to suffer these consequences. Unfortunately, you reap what you sow in this world. Obviously, he had a past that was not great. And I'm not saying that everybody has to have a clean record all the way through. Like, no, we all do wrong. But when we do wrong, we at least have a conscience, and then we work towards fixing our issues. See, these young people that's coming up nowadays, they don't have a conscience. They don't know what they're doing until it's too late. Matter of fact, they do know what they're doing, but they don't know the consequences behind it when they get caught. It was always a voice in my head that was telling me, hey, you better not do that. And you know what? That voice saved my life plenty of times.
The family of Wynter Smith is thanking the community and calling for change in the wake of her murder. Now at noon, their message to lawmakers, how Wynter's life is being celebrated and where the investigation stands right now. The search for Wynter started Sunday after Lansing police said her mother's ex-boyfriend, Rashad Trice, took her from their home after an attack on her mother. When police took him into custody Monday morning, there was no sign of Wynter, and police say he refused to tell them where she was. He was previously arraigned on several charges before the little girl's body was found. Let's bring in Victor Williams this afternoon with when charges could be amended or added here, Victor.
Yeah, that's right. We are waiting for that information to come in at any moment, but all of this was just so heartbreaking following all of this from the beginning until now. We know that Wynter's body, unfortunately, was found last night over on the east side in an overgrown alley by a home. And officers were able to find her while searching in a grid pattern in different parts of the route that Rashad Trice was allegedly believed to have taken on the night that Wynter was abducted. Former Assistant Police Chief with the Detroit Police Department, Steve Dolan, says that the whole situation is so sad, but at least the officers were able to find Wynter's body without any cooperation from the suspect.
He had a plan, and he was desperate to get away, but the FBI and Detroit and Lansing and everyone was involved, they did a great job. And then they figured out where he'd been there at a spot for longer than a couple of minutes, and they did a grid search. And they found her. Unfortunately, not the way they wanted to. It's great police work. Unfortunately, it probably started too late because he'd already dumped the little girl, and that's heartbreaking.
And the family of Wynter Cole Smith sent to us the following statement, which reads, quote, "We are heartbroken over the loss of our beautiful daughter, granddaughter, cousins, niece, and big sister, Wynter Cole Smith. Wynter's brief but bright life was taken from her unnecessarily, and we will grieve her death forever. We wish to thank the FBI, all law enforcement, all the volunteers, and the Doc Ellis Foundation for their assistance, compassion, and professionalism. In remembering Wynter, we believe that this is necessary to help make sure that this kind of tragedy never again touches any other family anywhere. We ask that the state legislator and Governor Whitmer to consider legislation that further ensures that multiple violent offenders remain in jail or prison, as they are tragically a threat to all of us."
Very heartbreaking. He needs to get everything he got coming his way because you took away a life. Not only that, you could have took away your ex-life. You know, I love Detroit, but one thing about Detroit is this. As you see in the background, you see nothing but trees and grass being like 3 feet off the ground or whatever the case may be. And these are vacant lots that are more than likely owned by the city of Detroit. They need to keep these areas clean, right? Because they spend so much money downtown. They put so much money into the infrastructure downtown. They don't even care about the surrounding area, which makes it easy for somebody to get away with a gruesome crime like this, because all they got to do is just, hey, it's so many alleys, shoot, it's 2 houses on 1 block. I could go ahead and I could do this, I could do that, I could do whatever I want to, because you know what? It's a free-for-all over here. Anything goes. And one thing I could tell you for sure is the police ain't going to show up on time. You prove me wrong. But I can't wait till the day y'all show me that. People pay city taxes for what? Look around. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many issues that made it take longer to find her. But you know what? I'm happy they did find her. They did do their job. they did complete the investigation like they said they were gonna do. One thing that's gonna make these people around here start thinking before they start doing stuff is they need to bring a death penalty over here. But we have to get these young people to wake up, right? Talking to them won't work. All of that other stuff won't work. You know what? You looking at your friends pass away right in front of your eyes won't work. Okay. Keep moving the way you're moving. You're gonna be next in line. Not only that, if the death penalty was passed, hey, you'll be next in that line. You know, I don't want to see my people go, but at the end of the day, these senseless crimes gotta stop, and they gotta stop now. You know what I'm saying? So if you in a community, you see something out of pocket, straighten it up. With that being said, I'll highlight y'all on the next one. My condolences again to the family. I just couldn't imagine what I would go through if I were in a situation like that. So, you know, keep them uplifted, and yeah. Till next time.